Headphones. A lot of people use them. They're great. You can use them for so much stuff, like listening to music or listening to music on something else, and watching videos like this one you're watching right now. But there are obviously some headphones that are better than others, and there's one particular pair that many people use to gauge how good others are: the Sennheiser HD600s. Now, I heard about these. Hold on, let me move my camera. Now, I heard about these, and hold on. I heard about the HD600s, and my first thought was, wow, those seem like some really nice headphones. And before then, I had only ever used closed back headphones, like these. The Sony WHCH720N. Now, they're just some headphones that I got for about $100. I mean, that's definitely not cheap, but for good quality headphones, that is definitely on the lower end. And so, I decided I wanted another pair that sounded better than these. So, I got the Sennheiser Momentum 4s. And I was like, wow, high quality audio sounds good. So, I decided I want to get even higher quality headphones. And what better way to get into it than starting with what everyone else uses as the standard for good quality, the HD600s. But I saw them, and then I saw the HD650s, and I didn't see too much of a difference between them, but I was like, I want to get the HD650s instead of just the 600s. So, that is exactly what I did. Now, this isn't an older pair that's got, I think the older ones had a metal band, but this one is just plastic. But, I mean, they're still really comfortable on my head. And, they don't have just a small clamping force. These actually grip my noggin very well. But these are very good headphones, first of all, let me just say. And I would say I'm probably just a baby audiophile at the moment, so my opinions are not the most valid here, but still, I just wanted to review these headphones anyway. Now, my first thing that I have to say is I've never had headphones like that with earpads with this kind of material. And for these being my first ones, they are really comfortable. I didn't expect headphones to be able to be as comfortable as these are. Now, the one thing that made me kind of iffy about getting these is obviously they're open back, so they bleed noise. So anything you're listening to will be not only can you hear it, but all the people around you can too. So we'll all hear the Megalovania kazoo cover that you're listening to on the bus. But I mean, that seems like a relatively small price to pay for having high quality headphones. And of course, these aren't made for using out in public. They're made to use in a private, more quiet setting so that you can really hear all the details of your music. Of course, there are better quality headphones, but within my budget, these were the only ones. And so, today I'd like to give my honest opinion of these headphones. So, I don't know, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start by saying, honestly, while a lot of people just prefer wireless headphones, I like that they're wired. I don't have the wire attached to them right now, but, of course, you have to, to use them, you have to have wires in these two holes, because they can't connect any other way. They don't have Bluetooth, and like they don't have any batteries. Um, but that's just, I mean, it's not really much of an inconvenience because I use these exclusively at my desk. So there's no point in me having Bluetooth headphones for that whenever I, first of all, prefer to have higher quality music, and second of all, won't really be taking them too far, so I don't need them to be wireless. And now, I also think that they actually look really nice for just headphones. Because, like, the gray color, I don't think they come in any other color at the moment. Which, I mean, if they don't at the moment, then they haven't since when they released, which I think was in the 90s or early 2000s. Which is older than I am, but still, good headphones are good headphones. But, like, even though they are fairly old, from what I've seen of the, like, actual older models that, well, not really older models, of the, like, ones that were produced before I was born, they look almost exactly the same as these. So, and I have to say that they really just look gorgeous in my opinion. These are the best looking headphones that I have ever actually seen. And honestly, even though a lot of this is plastic here, this is metal right here. I don't know if you could really hear from me tapping on it, but that's metal right there. But I mean, even though a lot of it is plastic, they still feel pretty firm, and like it would take a lot to break them. And then this padding up here, I've heard some people say they think it presses on their heads a bit too hard, but honestly, the way it feels on my head, I love it. These are, like I said, some of the most comfortable headphones I've ever worn. And then this simple pattern on the ear cups, I like the hexagonal holes. I think it's very simple, but it looks good. And then you can see the little drivers in there. So, like, that all is so comfortable. And these ear pads, like, you can pop them out. Like, you can get replacement ear pads for these. But if I do, I'm just going to get, like, the same kind that these are because they just feel so nice on my ears. And, like, if they feel good, then what's the point in replacing them, right? Like, with something else. And then, if you look right here, I'm not entirely sure what that metal screen is for, but right there in the center, you can see the actual audio driver, like, that produces the music, or, like, whatever sounds you're listening to. It's not always music for me, since I do use these for, just anytime I'm at my desk. So if I'm playing games, or if I'm, like, watching YouTube or TV, I use these headphones because I just already have these plugged in and ready to go. Now, sometimes I'm not entirely sure I have these ear pads back in, like, all the way. I gotta check around and, like, press down everywhere to make sure they're in properly, because one time I didn't put them in properly and then they kind of fell out. But anyway, so, like, for the build quality, these things feel very nice. Now, I would prefer to have, like, one with a metal band up here and stuff, and if the older models do in fact have that, then I'm going to be trying to get one. But from what I've heard, they don't actually sound any different. They still use the same, like, audio driver on the inside, and the only real difference is, like, what everything else is made of. So that, I mean, the only reason I would do that is because I just want to have, like higher build quality. And then for the actual like audio that you hear, um I think these are, well, I don't just think, I know these are the best headphones I've ever actually listened to myself. Of course, there are better headphones, but those are outside of my budget. These I got for about $400 on sale, like after tax and everything was applied. Like they were down to 400, and then I used a discount code to get them down to 340. Of course, I'm in the US, so that's US dollars. But like that's really in my opinion, a pretty good price for headphones that sound this good. And of course, after sales tax and everything else, they were around $400. I think actually right at around $385, which that's, like I said, not too bad of a price for high quality headphones. And these are actually my first audiophile headphones that I've ever had. Of course, in the future, I plan to get more so that I can both review them and just listen to different headphones and see what my taste is. But these headphones are really nice, like I've been saying, and well, they're just good. Now, I haven't actually had a chance to listen to them with a balanced output because I've only been using the cable that came with them and not any like and not when the cable that came with them has a 6.35 millimeter jack, so a quarter-inch jack. So that's not like that's obviously not a balanced cable. But so I've got a 4.4 millimeter jack coming in soon so that I can plug these into my DAC and get balanced sound in these. I would show the cable that came with these, but the one for the right ear didn't, it barely worked at all from the day I got these, which that was only around 3 weeks ago. But a few days ago they just completely stopped working. Like the right one completely stopped working entirely. So I've just had to throw out that cable, and I ordered my new cable before then, and I was going to keep using the one that came with these, but that one, like I said, died, so I still have to wait for my new balanced cable to come in. But when I do, I'm probably not going to update this video or anything. I'm just going to leave it as is, and I'm not really going to review it any farther. But they're probably going to sound slightly, probably not a whole lot, but still slightly better to me, which of course that's the goal with getting higher quality headphones. So in all, I would say that these are obviously a very good pair of headphones. I'm also looking to get a pair of the Sennheiser HD600s because, like I said, these are the 650s, which you also know that from the title of the video. So, but I'm gonna try to get a pair of the 600s. I'm gonna try to find one of the old pairs that have that marble look to them. Instead of one of the newer ones, because they have changed their look slightly since they were released in 1997. But for now, these are the only audiophile headphones I have, and they sound extraordinarily good. But I mean, these, like I said, these are only my headphones I use at my desktop. When I go out, I use these. These ones are also Sennheiser. They are the Momentum 4 headphones. I think recently they announced that they're working on making the Momentum 5s. So I'm looking forward to when those come out. And I'm probably going to get some of the older Momentum headphones so I can test those too. But these are the ones that I use whenever I go out and do anything because they're closed back. They are Bluetooth. However, usually when I'm using them, I connect them with the USB cable to my phone because with that, then you can get lossless audio. And like I said, I don't really like wireless because it's just not as good. But these also came with a 2.5 millimeter to 3.5 audio cable, so you can plug these into just the regular like aux port. But since I'm only using these to since I'm trying to get higher quality audio, and through that you actually can't get very high quality audio, I'm just going to use them like with the USB-C cable so that I can get lossless audio, which, like if you're looking for really high quality music, that's what you're going to get because it's lossless. It's, played exactly as it was recorded. But back to the main headphones of this video. These are, first of all, just beautiful headphones overall. For the price I gave for them, I would say they're absolutely worth it. But for their full normal price, I've only seen them not on sale like one time. But yeah, you can usually get these for like $400 US or less, which, like, depending on where you are, is gonna be, slightly higher or lower in your currency, but it's all generally about the same. Like, you can just look up, the headphones to see how much they cost. If you don't know the exchange rate, which, I mean, that's not something someone would need to know. Just look them up to see how much they cost for you. I would definitely say you should get them if you're looking for higher quality audio. I will say, though, you can't really use these with just like your phone or just a regular MP3 player, because since these are supposed to be higher quality headphones, they have a higher ohm value, which means that to run them at the same volume as, say, my Sonys that I showed you earlier, these need to have more power put into them. I'm not entirely sure how many ohms my Sonys are, but these ones are 300 ohms. Now, to put that into perspective, the AirPods not AirPods, the earbuds, just the wired earbuds that Apple sells, they're kind of cheap, those ones, like the white wired ones, they are 32 ohms, and, they do get decently loud, but if you power these with the same amount of power that you power those, then you're not going to get anywhere near the same volume because these resist the electricity more, but that's because they try to recreate the sound more accurately. Now, of course, there are probably some cheaper headphones that have a lower ohmage that play just like the same quality music or maybe even better, but these are the ones I have. These are the ones I love, and I would, like I've said this entire time, I would definitely recommend getting a pair if you want to have higher quality music, but you will need to get some kind of amplifier or a DAC to be able to use these, because that's just how you get enough power to use these. Now, you can get like a decent DAC for maybe like $150. Like, that's how much I gave for my DAC. I've got a FIO K11. Like, let me grab it real quick to show you. This is the DAC that I have. It's very simple. It is wired. Like, you do have to have it plugged into the wall. It's not wireless, so, I can't turn it on to show you right now. But, it can take USB in, optical in, or a coaxial in, like input. And then I use the optical input. And then it's got a 3.5 well, not 3.5. That's a 4.4 balanced output, and it's got a 6.5 unbalanced input. And either this or my headphones, yeah, it was this, came with this, which is an adapter for a 3.5 millimeter jack to go to the 6.35. So you can plug in like regular headphones into this to try to get higher quality audio on them. But like if you get these headphones and a DAC, then that's, I mean, you're gonna start. That's how I got into listening to lossless audio. That's kind of how I've become an audiophile. So I would absolutely recommend, like, even if you don't get these ones specifically, a brand new pair of the HD600s, the golden standard for audiophiles. They're about $100 to $200 cheaper, depending on when you get them. Of course, that's US dollars. But if you get them on sale, or if you use a discount code, you can get them at a lower price. I think normally I've seen the HD600s at about $500. Like I said, these ones say their normal price is $600. I don't know how much I believe that because I've always seen them on sale. But just getting a pair of high quality headphones like these ones, I would absolutely recommend these ones because this is what I have, this is what I use. Just get these and a DAC. Like I said, this thing cost me about $150. It's the FIO K11. Works just great because, I mean, I'd be surprised if it didn't because it's just a DAC. They've made these good since like the 70s. This one's just, a new one. But, I mean, that's really about all I have to say about these headphones. They're great. They sound amazing. Their actual build quality is pretty good. And they feel comfortable, at least to me. Some people might not like how much they clamp your head with. I think on the specs sheet for these, it says that they clamp with about 5 plus or minus 1 newtons of force. So they really do grip onto your head. But like I said, I personally enjoy that. They're very comfortable to me. They sound great. So yeah. Thank you everyone for watching this video. If you want to see more by me, please just like and subscribe. If you want to tell me I'm a stinky loser, go say that in the comments. Just do whatever you want. This has been the Frog Reviews, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.